these, you never want to tap again without it. It's a beautiful piece of equipment. So there's a quick change collet on here. You can see they have all these different taps set up. Standard only at this point, but you can put metric ones in as well, both in coarse and fine thread. So after you drilled the hole, if you haven't countersunk it yet, you can use the countersink tool. To insert this, you line up these keys with the opening here with the slot. You'll simply push it up in there, snaps it in, so this is secure now. To turn it on, obviously put your part in here, clamp it in place, you can bring it over. When you squeeze the handle, bring it down, and this arrangement keeps it perfectly perpendicular to this table. Makes it very, very easy for tapping nice straight holes. When you're done countersink preparing your hole, hold this, pull up the sleeve here, and this simply releases. Find the right tap. Again, double check if you're using fine or coarse thread. The tap sizes on the side, so number 10, number 12, quarter, 5/16, but you can only tell by looking at it if it's a fine or coarse thread. It's not labeled on this. Same thing, you put it in here, line it up, push it in, brings the sleeve down, snaps it in place. When you tap, secure it in here, maybe use parallels if it's a very shallow flat piece to bring it up to the top so you can see what you're doing. Put some tapping oil on it. When you tap, a little bit of light pressure on it, you turn it on, bring it down, and put a little bit of pressure on it, it starts threading and cutting and pulling itself through. Watch it as it goes through. If you have a cross hole or don't want to go all the way down, there's not a through hole, if it's a blind hole. These all have individual clutches built in these collets, and these clutches are set for each tap size. Okay, so you can bottom it out. It should simply clutch and ratchet. Then you stop it and reverse it back out. If you're cutting steel, you may have to see this button up here. That's the reverse direction of the tapping pad. So you bring it down on the fly. You can reverse it just like you would tap by hand. You know, you would tap it maybe 2 turns, reverse it half a turn to break the thread inside of it, and then continue on. You can't, you know, manually tap a hole all the way down in one step. This guy can, because they're just much more rigid setup and much more powerful. So again, once you have the hole lined up, tap it, light pressure on it, pulls it through. When you're done, you can let go, press the button, squeeze the handle again, and pull it out with just a little bit of pull on it. You don't want to have it sitting idle on top of the hole and just grinding it out, stripping the thread out. So pull it out just a little bit. You can adjust this weight, you know, depending on what tap size you have, but typically this is set to balance itself and be just right. Vacuuming, make sure you clean it up after yourself. If you know somebody's going to come after you and do milling work or drilling work, you know, coordinate with them so you don't have to clean up every time you do something. If you know somebody's going to come right after you and use the machine again. If you are done towards the end of the day, make sure you clean up and sweep up, vacuum up, and use the place better than you found it.